Hello, my name is Ash, a counselor in training. This is my Relatable study podcast for individuals who need help studying for their NCE, CPCE, and other related counseling exams. I'm going to go through many questions from multiple resources and make the answers relatable to both you and me. So get your listening ears on and let's get studying. What is a household? A household consists of individuals or a group of people residing together under one roof. The level of interaction with a client's family can range from having essentially no relationship to developing a close working relationship with them. A household could consist of a family unit, roommates, couples, so on and so forth. In terms of trust and therapeutic surrender, A, it is easier to trust people from one's own culture. B, lower class people often don't trust others from a higher social class. C, lower class clients may feel like they will end up as losers dealing with a counselor from a higher social class. D, all of the above. The answer is D, all of the above. In terms of trust and therapeutic surrender, it is easier to trust people from one's own culture. Lower class people often don't trust others from a higher social class, and lower class clients may feel they will end up as losers dealing with a counselor from a higher social class. All of these are true in regarding trust and therapeutic surrender. As for trusting people from one's own culture, I am comfortable enough to trust a white woman as a counselor rather than a white male. For example, what is family violence? Family violence can include emotional, physical, sexual, or verbal behaviors that occur between members of the same family or other individuals living within the home. These behaviors can include both abuse and neglect and often involve the elderly, spouses, and children. Family violence is often kept a secret and may be the main issue with many family members and problems. Many times, these actions that would be considered unacceptable to strangers or friends may often be the norm between these family members. Violence and abuse can occur due to the unique interactions between family members based upon personality difference, socio-cultural influences, and situational variations. For example, my family, we all have different personalities. The majority of us have the extroverted personality trait, where very few of us have an introverted personality trait, and we clash all the time, but it never leads to family violence. I am sure that there are many cases out there that have been brought to the news regarding family violence. I would recommend looking into those cases and those news articles to better equip your understanding of what family violence may look like. A blank client would most likely have the most difficulty with self-disclosure when speaking to a Caucasian counselor. A, middle-class Caucasian female. B, upper-class African-American female. C, lower-class African-American male. D, upper-class Caucasian male. The answer is C. A lower-class African-American male client would most likely have the most difficulty with self-disclosure when speaking to a Caucasian counselor, mostly because it is slightly easier to talk to someone of your own race because of many similarities, whereas if an African-American is talking to an Caucasian counselor, there are drastic differences and it becomes a little more difficult to disclose information because the Caucasian counselor, even though they may be culturally aware and racially aware of the differences, they might not always know the ins and outs of the African American experience or culture. As for the gender part of it, males have an easier time talking to other males males and females have an easier time talking to other females, whereas if the male is talking to a female counselor, it may be a little different due to gender differences and vice versa. And then there is the lower, middle, and upper class. Of the socioeconomic system, I would recommend looking into research about lower, middle, and upper class socioeconomical systems in regards to counseling. This part trips me up and I would not provide a good example for you. But the answer is C. A lower class African American male would most likely have most difficulty with self-disclosure when speaking to a Caucasian counselor for the reasons that are mentioned. What did Anne Freud propose about defense mechanisms? According to Anne Freud, defense mechanisms are an unconscious process in which the ego attempts to expel any anxiety-provoking sexual and aggressive impulses from the consciousness. Defense mechanisms are an attempt to protect the self from painful anxiety and are used universally. Anne Freud proposed that defense mechanisms serve to protect the ego and to reduce fear, distress, angst through distortion, irrational, and denial, or obscuring reality. For example, I was on a call with car insurance the other day. They asked me if I was a mechanic. I got defensive because how the individual asked if I were a mechanic sounded really condescending, and I got very defensive with it. That is an example of defense mechanism to protect my ego. That is all 5 questions. Thank you for listening. Keep calm and study on.